Namaskar. So far, we have explored the Nyaya school, the foundation of logic and reasoning, and the Samkhya school, which presents a profound dualistic understanding of existence. And today, we step into a world of scientific brilliance, one that shatters the arrogance of modern intellect and compels us to bow in awe before the wisdom of our ancient rishis. Before I begin, let me ask a direct question, especially to the bright minds from IITs and IIMs, the scientists, engineers, and thinkers of today. Could you ever imagine that several millennia before modern science even took shape, the fundamental concept of atomic theory, physics, and cosmology were already laid down by our rishis? Yes, long before Dalton, Newton, Einstein, and Heisenberg, there was a seer, a philosopher scientist who envisioned the atomic structure of matter, the laws of motion, and the very mechanics of cosmos. His name was Kanada, the founder of Vaiseshika Darshana, one of the most astounding contributions of Sanatana Dharma to science and philosophy. Had he been alive today, there is no doubt he would have been an automatic choice for the Nobel Prize in Physics. His insights, recorded thousands of years ago, aligned with the very principles that modern physics takes pride in discovering. But unlike the cold materialistic approach of modern science, Vaiseshika blends science with purpose, logic with dharma, and reality with the divine. To make these intricate ideas easier to capture, I will narrate a series of incidents, a lovely dialogue between a great king and a wise sage. Each incident will unfold a core principle of Vaiseshika, making it crystal clear why this philosophy remains not just relevant for the 21st century, but for as long as mankind exists. Vaiseshika is one of the six orthodox schools of Hindu philosophy. It was founded by Maharishi Kanada around the 2nd century BCE. And the main sloka, Arthavat Padarthanam Adhyayanam Dharma Sehedu. So the study of meaningful categories of reality leads to dharma, righteous living. And Vaiseshika is primarily a realist and atomist school of thought that classifies the universe into fundamental categories. Its philosophy revolves around padartha, or categories of existence, and it closely aligns with Nyaya philosophy in logic and epistemology. Now, let's embark on this fascinating journey where science meets spirituality, logic meets faith, and ancient wisdom challenges modern arrogance. Long ago, in the grand city of Kashi, there lived a restless but curious young prince named Vikrant. Unlike his warrior brothers who spent their time sharpening swords, Vikrant had a sharper mind. He would gaze at the stars and wonder, why do they stay in place? Why does a mango fall from a tree and not float away? Are we made of same thing as rocks and rivers? His teachers were tired of his endless questions. So the prince is thinking too much. Get him a horse to ride, they grumbled. But the prince was not satisfied with just riding a horse. He wanted to write the knowledge of the universe. One day, an old court scholar whispered, if you truly wish to understand the mysteries of existence, seek the great sage Kanada in the deep forest of Vindhyas. He sees what others do not. So, Vikrant rode day and night to the Vindhya forest. When he arrived, he saw an old man under a giant peepal tree staring at a falling leaf as if it contained the secret of the universe. Are you the great sage Kanada? The prince asked. The old man did not look up. He caught the leaf before it touched the ground and said, why do you think this leaf fell? The prince, confused, replied, because it dried up. Then Kanada smiled. Yes, but why downwards? Why not upwards or sideways? The prince scratched his head. Because, because that's how it works. Then Kanada chuckled. Everything moves due to a force acting on it. Nothing happens without a reason. Lesson, the law of motion, karma. Everything moves because of an external force. Just as a leaf doesn't fall without a cause. Our actions, karma, create reactions in life. The prince's curiosity deepened. Then, as they walked, the prince saw a bowl of rice. Then Kanada picked up one grain, threw it away, and asked, is this still rice? Yes, of course, the prince replied. Kanada kept removing grains one by one. Finally, only one grain was left. And now, it's still rice, Vikrant replied. Then Kanada took a sharp knife and tried to cut the grain. What if I keep dividing it? When will it stop being rice? Vikrant's eyes widened. So there must be a point where it can't be divided anymore. Kanada clapped his hand. Exactly. Everything is made of tiny, indivisible particles called anu, atoms. So the entire universe is built from them. So the lesson is atomic theory. Everything big and small is made up of anu, atoms, and they combine in different ways to form all objects. Even your body, food, thoughts are all just a different combination of atoms. And as they sat near a pond, a parrot flew across the sky. Kanada pointed at it. What made the parrot move? Its wings, said Vikrant. And if it stops flapping, it will fall. And if a storm blows, it will be thrown away. Kanada noted, all motion is caused by forces. Some things move by themselves like a parrot, and some things move when pushed like a rock rolling. So the signs of motion. Things do not move on their own. They need a force. And this applies to everything from atoms to planets. Even our thoughts move when acted upon by knowledge or emotions. And Kanada led the prince to a shimmering pond, and he pointed at Vikrant's reflection. If you disappear, what happens to your reflection? It disappears too. Kanada smiled. This is how reality works. Something exists on their own, like mountains, and some exist only because of others, like your reflection. Now, can you tell me which is real? Your reflection or you? Then the prince laughed. I am real. My reflection depends on me. Then Kanada winked. Just like the universe depends on something greater. So, vaiseshika divides the universe into seven realities. Dravya, that is the substance. Everything real, earth, water, air, mind, self, etc. Then guna, quality, properties like color, taste, weight. Then karma, action, motion and activity. Then samanya, universality, what things have in common. Then particularity, that is vaiseshika, what makes things unique. And samavaya, that is the inherence, how things connect. Cloth is made of thread. And abhava rather, absence, the concept of nothingness. So the prince's head was buzzing with new knowledge. But then he had one last question. If everything follows laws, is there any need for God? Then Kanada smiled. Tell me, prince, who enforces laws in your kingdom? The king and his ministers. And who ensures everything runs smoothly? The king. Kanada nodded. The universe too has a supreme regulator, Ishvara, God. Though atom form the world, it is Ishvara who ensures balance, justice, and order. And so, God does not create atoms but governs their movement. Just like a king maintains order, Ishvara ensures the laws of nature work even in science. Laws must be governed by a system. Vaiseshika says this is Ishvara. As Vikrant returned to Kashi, he realized that Kanada's wisdom was not just for sages, it was for everyone for ages. The atomic theory and motion principles align with modern physics, encourages scientific thinking over blind belief. Everything has a cause, so our actions matter. Leaders should see the big picture, just as Vaiseshika explained how everything is connected. So the genius of Kanada Rishi proves that true knowledge transcends time. Long before modern science, he unveiled the atomic nature of reality, the laws of motion, and the interconnectedness of existence. His insights are not just ancient philosophy, they are very foundation of rational thought and scientific inquiry. Vaiseshika teaches that the universe is not chaotic but governed by precise laws and deeper purpose. It urges us to observe, analyze, and seek truth, not just for knowledge, but for wisdom, not just for intellect, but for enlightenment. So, I conclude with this essence of Vaiseshika School of Philosophy, wishing you all a thoughtful and insightful week ahead. Best regards, Raju Krishnan, Hyderabad.